I want us to go in there and kill everybody first day.
You
I don't know
can't
how we do it.
You can't do it like that.
That's a problem?
That's
Why?
a huge problem. Yes. Because we'll all get whacked ourselves.
Yeah.
Just like any real, gang.
We ought to go in there like mass murderers and just shoot up the place. Now, I haven't kept up with the latest. Well, you can't possibly keep up with the mass murders as they happen in this country. We act like we worry about radical Muslims, but we're doing our own crazy shooting sprees every time you turn around. Fez, the last two seem to be church-based.
Yeah, 2 in Colorado, both on Sunday. One was early in the evening at a missionary training center. Gunmen went in there, shot up people, took off. Then Sunday morning, after an 11 a.m. service, there was a shooting at a church service where the gunman was shot by a church security guard.
Now, the guy runs into church and starts shooting?
Yeah. Yep, the 11 a.m. service had just let out, so he was showing, people were coming out, they were still in the church mingling.
Maybe you want to get $1 back out of that basket. I'm going to tell you right now, Colorado has bypassed California and is looking at Florida as becoming the real nut porch light. Because there are so many crazies in Colorado now. And I don't know, I understood the California and Florida thing. You're going to be a nut, why not be warm? I don't know why they're in Colorado. I think it's too high up there. I don't think you're getting enough oxygen in your brain.
And you also, can isolate yourself from other people. I think which can sometimes make people go nuts. But everyone seems to have their own little ranch, their own little farm on the mountaintop. And all you do is think about killing people at some point.
Yeah, but why? Why wouldn't that be like a better excuse to move away from people and be comfortable? Why you got to get up, hop in your truck, and go down to a church or a school and start going crazy? You would think space would give you a chance to blow off some steam.
I don't know. Maybe because you have too much space, you just become totally antisocial.
All right, what do you think the scariest part of the country is for you?
Texas.
Texas still,
Yeah,
huh?
still for me.
Border?
The border of Texas. I mean, when I see a Kill Bill, I know these are fictional films, but still.
But they're all based on something.
Right.
And then even that new Coen Brothers.
Yeah, that was another one.
There's too much open space there. There's too much dryness. Texas is pretty weird.
Just creepy.
All right, this is breaking news. They've got the guy's name. He's a 24-year-old guy named Matthew Murray. He's the Colorado Springs shooter. Now, that's different from the other shooting, Fez?
The Colorado Springs one was the church, not the missionary training center.
I thought they got the church guy, though.
Yeah, and now they've identified who it is.
Did they kill him?
Yeah, church security guard killed him at the church. I don't know why the church security guard had a gun on him.
I never even heard of a church security guard.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I thought
that was the priest.
This is one of those big mega churches. It's Ted Haggard's church. The guy who got thrown out of the church.
You know what? And no offense to Christian people, but I'm sure churches bring in a lot of crazy people because, people that are hurting, they hear voices, they go to a church. I'm not saying Jesus is doing it to them, but I'm saying a lot of crazy people think they're talking to God. Or hearing voices from God.
Yeah.
Earl, does your church have security?
Yes, we do.
You got a gunman in there?
Not a gunman, no.
Got a sniper up up high?
No sniper.
What's the guy do?
They're off-duty cops.
Is their main job to try to keep blacks out? Because they're doing a terrible job at your church.
They're not keeping blacks out. These are black law enforcement.
See, I would not like a church with a security guard because I think they would try to keep you in. You know what I mean? That's Jonestown now. Here is Shay. Shay, you're on Fez.
Hey, I used to live in Colorado. I lived in Golden. There are a lot of transplants from California in Golden, Colorado, just in the Denver area, and there's not that much space out there either, man. I mean, it just really exploded in the 90s, and it's packed full of people.
Yeah, I guess it has gotten a lot more crowded. I remember I was out in Boulder, Colorado, which is just really beautiful, and it's college town, so it's, it's got a lot of concerts coming in, and there was great restaurants, but it's still at a small town thing. But as I'm pulling out on the mountains, you just see all these tract homes going in one after another. And it's very hard to get away from human beings anymore.
there's just, I don't know. I mean, there are some, but there are very few like good-looking girls out there. That could be part of the reason too. They might be just going crazy looking for some trim or something.
So you thinking they're ugly mountain girls?
I don't know what it is, man. I mean, a lot of them are really cool, but they don't have the looks about them. You know what I'm saying? It's just they're just, I don't know, not sexy.
All right, thanks. Here is Eric. You're on the Fez.
Yeah, hey, buddies. Hey, a couple things. Number one, this shooter in the Springs, they believe he is the same shooter that was involved at the other shooting. The two shootings happened 12 hours apart. The first one was just after midnight Sunday morning. The other one was at 1:30 in the afternoon, or 1:10 in the afternoon. And the reason there was a security guard there, the two churches work closely together on missionary programs and whatnot. And the church in Arvada had sent out a warning to several other churches that they work closely with regarding their shooting, and they do not normally have security at this church, at the New Life Church, but it's in recent times they have, and it was a female security guard who shot this guy. There are 4 people who are dead, 2 at the first shooting, 2 from the second shooting, and there's like 5 or 6 that were wounded total.
I'm telling you, you can't go anywhere in this country. I mean, you don't think you could go to church? You can't go to school?
The mall?
Yeah, the mall in Omaha.
And now you guys are trying to take away people's guns. I don't know if you should ever leave your house without a gun. I think that you should have your chick riding shotgun for you like it was the Old West. She should just be sitting up there on the top of a buckboard with a fucking shotgun across her lap. And you, if a car pulls up next to you, you got to open fire. Because they could basically be insanity going on. Here's Jason. Jason, you're on Manifest.
What's up, buddies?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a transplant from Ohio here in Texas, and Dave, you were saying that Texas scares you. I got to tell you, I felt the same way when I came down here. I thought it was a bunch of fucking cowboys and crazy Mexicans running around. Not the case. Texas is pretty cool. It's safe. I've been busted to the border myself, muling shit back, but they got a tight grip on it. Thanks, boys.
Peace. So he's saying don't fall for the Texas hype.
I still fear it.
It just got a weird look about it for me.
Yeah. It just feels very creepy, and I envision just a lot of, grave robbers in Texas, and you can't trust those people.
I don't know where grave robbers came from. There's nothing in those graves. It's not like there's Egyptians down there with gold. It's fine. What are you going to do? Take someone's half suit? Paul, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, Ronnie. First of all, man, Life on Mars tomorrow. The season premiere tomorrow, and I guess it's the final season. Don't miss it.
Is this BBC America?
Yeah, BBC America tomorrow night.
Life on Mars ended last year.
No. This is the last year, and the season premiere is tonight.
It's the same cast?
Yeah, oh yeah. They're going to wrap it up.
I saw it get wrapped up last year. I saw him go back.
No, it's just saw a commercial for it yesterday, and they said the final season, and it premieres tomorrow.
All right, send me that email, would you, Earl? Because I forgot all about it. By the way, next to last Dexter last night. Oh, Jesus. I don't know how the hell Dexter's going to get out of this. I just started yelling, kill yourself at the fucking screen. I can't imagine. Other than killing himself, I don't know how he's going to get out.
And Journeyman's back tonight, right? It was 2 weeks they had off. And I thought they were off just last Monday, but then I think they're back tonight.
Boy, if I had Journeyman and A Life on Mars on the same night, I'd be the happiest little time traveler ever.
I can't wait. This will be the first time I got to see a Journeyman live.
You want me to call you and we'll watch on the phones together?
That would be fun.
Oh. Here's Lindsay. Lindsay, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, boys.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm wondering if you can get a hold of Shirley Phelps and ask her if this is the work of God.
It's God's will.
God's will. Shoot up everybody who believes in God. Why not?
Well, they believe in the wrong God. They're not doing the way Shirley does.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what she'll say for an excuse, right?
But I'll tell you this. Nobody knows the Bible better than her.
No.
She would destroy Earl in Bible trivia. Maybe next time we have her on, or I'll call her and ask if she'd like to do Bible trivia against you.
I would take her up on Bible trivia.
What happens if you lose? You leave the show?
I don't want to leave the show.
And join the Westboro Baptist Church?
I don't know if they'll take me, but I would not want to leave the show, no. I love the show.
But I thought you loved Jesus.
I love Jesus.
Won't Jesus help you beat her in a Bible trivia game?
If I asked, yes, he would help me.
If I ask, well, then ask him tonight. See if you, and then let me know tomorrow.
Pretty good relationship.
Talk it over with him tonight. If it all works out. Earl's going to come in here and shoot us once. He wants to get back there like Fez to be a collectible. He wants to get back under glass. Dan, you're on Fez.
Yeah, BBC America's just playing what you already saw from last year. They just get it a year later after it airs in England.
I thought I saw it on BBC America last year.
They played Series 1 last year. I don't remember Series 2. I have the DVDs, but, yeah, I don't think they play them.
Well, I thought they were going to do another one where the guy was in 1983 or something.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, look it up. Google stuff. All right, peace out, buddy. So anyway, that's the problem right now. Every time you turn around, there's a shooting. And oddly enough, it's taking place in the country. It's taking place in the suburbs. It's taking place where people shouldn't be this pressured and freaked out. Now, I think we've got a gigantic problem where we make anti-heroes out of these guys. Even this mall shooter the other day was saying, I'm going to be famous.
Yeah.
And as he said that, the following day, he's on all the cable news channels. He's on the front page of the papers. So he does become famous.
Yeah, and they printed his suicide note in newspapers, and so everything this kid wanted to say got out there. He totally got what he was asking for.
All right, but what else would you do? Would you rather not hear the news? I mean, what is the correct thing to do there?
I would say you report the shooting, you report who the killer was, but there's no reason to have to print his manifesto or anything.
What about for people that are curious about it? People to go, what are these things that happen? One of the things the news, there's obviously something sick and wrong in our society.
Right.
Where these things snap. You know, where these things break out like this. But I also think all of us are ridiculously obsessed with celebrity.
I know I am. I know, when I hate to put it so simply, but when you have these mass murderers, it's like they're real life supervillains. Yeah. I mean, and so they're like larger than life. They're comic book people. And I can't get enough of, how did this person grow up and what made him do this?
John, you're on Ron Fez.
Yeah, Ronnie. I actually emailed CNN. I completely agree with you. This guy got exactly what he wanted. And if all the news organizations had just banded together and said, you know what, we got this 19-year-old kid, but we're not going to tell you anything about him, it would have completely squashed his whole plan.
Yeah, but if they start deciding what should be reported, what shouldn't be reported, how do we know, we're going to hear about things that we need to hear about? You guys don't see that as a slippery slope?
And it's a big slippery slope. Primarily, I want to know this information primarily just if there's any type of pattern, if there's any type of
Earl, I've seen the pattern. It's you. It's guys that find themselves a little underwater. Their coworkers pick on them. They don't fit in. They're asexual. And before you know it, they start shooting everyone.
Well, I don't know about the asexuality.
I guarantee you, guys that fucking are getting laid aren't running around shooting people. That's a fucking asexual move right there. The gun is the penis, period. You don't have to be Freud to figure that out.
But at the same time, though, I want to find out what's in this guy's head as far as...
Read your own journals. They look exactly like yours.
I mean, but the journals you'll see, not in mine, but you'll see in, there's always a pattern of, there's no way out, there's... Isn't
that how you feel about work?
No. I mean, and I wouldn't...
What's your way out of here?
Well, I would either quit or get fired. That's one way out.
That's two.
There's two ways out.
So that's it. You can't work your way up and succeed. He doesn't even see success as
well, you said, I thought you went out. I mean, well, one way is, that's two ways out. You can work and get fired, or I can get promoted, or...
That ain't going to happen.
Or I can get another job. There's other ways out.
Promoted to where? It's the Ron and Earl show.
Well, he has moved in here. He's sitting in the co-host seat now. Here is Sean. Sean, you're on Fez.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fez.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm from Omaha. Just wanted to talk just a second about that kid that shot people in the mall. He wrote right in his suicide note that how troubled he was and everything, and that the reason that he was doing this is because he wanted to be famous. And the thing they said kind of triggered it was he just got fired from McDonald's. So, Earl, you better watch your ass.
Yeah, and, again, people going back and like blaming, family, friends. Why didn't you see this?
Everyone gets picked on. Just stop.
Absolutely, everybody gets picked on. Stop making an excuse out of it.
God, I mean, you'd all be destroyed.
Oh, jeez.
We're
waiting.
And I think of it, so not with you guys, but with Earl sometimes.
You can't fucking shoot straight. Everything you do is a failure. I'd let you come in here with a machine gun. I wouldn't even put up my cigar. I would just go ahead, point it, slow down. You wouldn't be able to pull it off.
If I had a shotgun, I think I could accurately take Earl down.
I don't think you could. You've never succeeded at anything. The only way that you could shoot Earl is if you tried not to shoot Earl. If you came in and said you were looking for a pheasant.
Well, that'll be my strategy then.
Here's Derek. Derek, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, Fez, you just said that you want to, you think that the crime itself should be reported, but not the suicide note, not the shooter's last wishes, all that. I don't understand why it's news in the first place. Why is every violent act, why do I need to know about it? It doesn't add to my life at all. It's not like this guy's on the loose, so it's not going to protect me. Knowing about these people dying doesn't help me. I don't understand why every violent act I need to hear about every single thing that happens in the country with shootings. Like, why is that news?
Well, it's news because we love it. We love murder in this country. Our movies are about murder. Our books are about murder.
We're just violent society.
We are a violent society.
It's been proven.
And it's not like something like that's going to be kept inside. Like the mall shooting, 9 dead at the mall.
But let me, Fez, give me famous serial killers or mass murderers. As many as you can name. I'll even give you a second to get it together. I'm going to give you like 60 seconds.
Okay.
To name as many famous serial killers and mass murderers. Give me a clock on this, Earl. Are you ready? Go.
John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, Danny Rawlings, the BTK killer, the Green River killer, let's see, the Zodiac killer, the Boston Strangler, the other Zodiac killer. Trying to think. Sorry, I'm starting to run out of them here.
Okay.
Mark David Chapman, John Hinckley. I would say Tim McVeigh.
Okay.
Eric and Dylan, the Columbine kids.
All right.
Kip Kinkle, who did a shooting in Seattle.
I remember that name.
Yep.
You're at 10 seconds now.
10 seconds. Trying to think if there's any other mass murders I missed. Speck, Richard Speck.
All right, that's your last one. All right, good job. Let's count them up here. You went through them in 1 minute. Fez named 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 in a minute. All right, Fez, now here's your next test.
Okay.
I need you to name a famous American painters. Are you ready? And begin.
Jackson Pollock. Grandma Moses. I don't know if I can do any others. Norman Rockwell.
That's 3.
Yeah. American painters. Frank Lloyd Wright, was he a painter?
No.
No. Okay.
Architect.
Right. Ansel Adams wasn't a painter. I don't know if I can do any more than that 3.
All right, so here, this is kind of interesting. And we're just doing this off the top of our head. Here's famous American painters versus serial killers, mass murderers. and it's 15-3. And quite frankly, I bet across the board more people can name serial killers than painters.
I agree.
And, you know, there's plenty to be proud of in the tradition of American painting. We've had fantastic painters that are pretty well unknown to the general population. You know, even though their work will go for millions and millions of dollars, the real famous people tend to be killers in this country.
Jeez. Well, I mean, we get roped in by killings.
Why can't you just take the responsibility that you're more interested and more apt to read about serial killers or murderers? That's a more exciting story to you than to sit around and read about Jasper Johns and see what he did with his life.
Yeah.
You know?
We are. I know. Well, at least I know I am. I love a serial killer. I love a mass murderer. I'll watch it all the time. Any special, I'll read the books. You name it. I'm obsessed with Jim Jones. You know, I mean, I can't pinpoint
And even this Michael Vick story is really just a story about violence. It's a story about a guy torturing the dog, and you know, the dogs are, I have a dog, blah blah blah. It's just another chance to bring this violent thing all around. You know?
Yeah.
Here's Tom. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, what's up, boys?
Yeah.
Have you noticed, I mean, I don't know about how you grew up, but my father used to beat my ass regular, okay? Now, you're not allowed to touch the kids, and then now the kids are bringing guns to school.
I don't know whether you can tie the two things together. I mean, America has a violent history. Billy the Kid, Jesse the James. These were serial killers. These were mass murderers, and they're part of our mythology. They were read about.
They were heroes. People
they were
looked up to-
anti-heroes.
But I think a lot of people looked up to Billy the Kid. I mean, otherwise his myth still wouldn't be so popular to
Well, we
this
have
day.
mythology about people that aren't. I mean, Charlie Manson, you know, people have read and written books and movies about him, where, again, there's how many movies about great American painters?
Very few.
You know? There is something where we celebrate violence over beauty. We celebrate it over beauty. It's just the way we are. That's just us. And again, I mean, I'm sure it happens a certain amount around the world, but I got news for you. After seeing those people from Manchester, I'm not interested in the rest of the world. This is my country. These are the 50. This is the big 50 I pay attention to. I think we're a crazy fucking hurting society right now. I really do. I really think that there's something seriously fucking wrong with our society.
Hasn't been the same since Bobby Kennedy got shot, Mr. B.
What did you just say, 68 over the weekend?
I did. But yeah. I actually thought about that for a long time and truly believe that. I've thought that for a long time, but Tom Brokaw's special last night just...
We'll talk about it tomorrow or the next day, because we don't have a lot of time left in the show here today. But I don't mind talking about that documentary that was done over the weekend. 1968. That was the big year.
That was it.
That was it. That was the crossroads.
In my opinion. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not your opinion, Tom Brokaw's opinion. You didn't even have an opinion.
I did.
You would have said this year. 07. And by the way, I'm glad to get rid of you, 07, you piece of fucking garbage.
Seriously.
What a piece of shit fucking year you were for everybody. Write this down.
Okay.
2007, suck a thick dick. We're done with you. We are done with you. We're moving on to...